Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Maybe you opened the fridge and stood there staring, wondering what it was you were looking for. Or you ran into someone you've known for years, and for the life of you, their name just wouldn't come to mind. If that sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. These little memory slips happen to everyone, and yes, they can feel a bit frustrating, even scary. Especially after 60, when society starts whispering that forgetting things is just part of getting older. But here's the truth, memory loss is not a guaranteed part of aging. Not at all. There are real, simple habits you can start today that will help keep your brain sharp, focused, and full of life, no matter what the calendar says. You don't have to accept the idea that your mind will fade just because you've had more birthdays. In fact, science now shows that your brain can stay strong and even grow new connections well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, as long as you keep using it the right way. That's what we're going to talk about today, 5 simple, doable habits that can help protect your memory and keep your mind clear. Now, we're not talking about anything extreme or complicated here. You won't need fancy supplements or hours of brain puzzles. These are everyday things that feel natural, even enjoyable, but they make a world of difference when it comes to memory. And more importantly, they help you feel in control of your own life again. So let's dive in with the first habit. One of the most powerful things you can do for your memory after 60 is move your body. Yes, physical activity. You might think exercise is more about muscles or heart health, but your brain absolutely loves movement. Every time you go for a walk, stretch, or dance in the kitchen, you're boosting blood flow to your brain. That means more oxygen, more nutrients, and better communication between brain cells. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. A simple 20 to 30-minute walk a few times a week can do wonders. And it's not just about your legs, it's about clearing mental fog, lifting your mood, and helping your brain stay young. Think of your brain like a garden. Exercise is like watering the garden, keeping everything alive, healthy, and blooming. I remember talking to a woman named Susan. She's 68 and used to joke that she was allergic to exercise. But after a minor health scare, she started walking around her neighborhood each morning. Nothing fancy. Just her, a pair of sneakers, and the sunrise. A few weeks in, she noticed something amazing. Not only was she sleeping better and feeling more energized, but her memory was sharper. She stopped forgetting why she went into a room. She could recall names and appointments more easily. And the only thing she changed? She started moving more. That brings us to the second habit, one that sounds simple, but most people overlook it, paying attention to what you eat. Your brain is an energy-hungry organ. Even though it only weighs a few pounds, it uses about 20% of your body's energy. So, what you feed your body directly impacts how well your brain works. Now, I'm not going to tell you to follow a strict diet or give up everything you love. Life is too short for that. But adding in more of the right foods can help your memory stay strong. Things like berries, leafy greens, walnuts, and fatty fish, these are packed with nutrients your brain craves. And just as important, try cutting back a little on processed foods or sugary snacks that can leave your brain feeling sluggish. Eating well isn't about being perfect. It's about fueling your mind so you can keep doing the things you love, reading, laughing, remembering birthdays, having deep conversations. All the little things that make life rich and full. A friend of mine, George, is 74 and loves crossword puzzles. But for a while, he felt like his mind wasn't as quick as it used to be. He'd forget words or struggle to finish the puzzle. Then his doctor recommended he start eating more omega-3s, like salmon and flaxseed. George rolled his eyes but gave it a shot, and wouldn't you know it, a few weeks later, he was back to breezing through the Sunday puzzle. He didn't change his routine. Just started eating in a way that helped his brain work better. The third habit is one that many people overlook because it doesn't feel like a health habit. But it might be the most important one of all, staying socially connected. That's right. Talking with people. Spending time with friends. Laughing over coffee. Even chatting with the cashier at the grocery store. When we engage with others, our brains light up. Conversation keeps your thinking sharp. It challenges your memory in the best way. You recall names, stories, opinions. You listen, respond, laugh, empathize. And all of that strengthens the neural pathways that support memory. The trouble is, as we get older, it can be easy to drift into isolation, especially after retirement or if friends or loved ones move or pass on. But connection doesn't need to be complicated. A phone call here. A lunch date there. Even joining a book club, a walking group, or volunteering once a week. It doesn't take much to make a big difference. One gentleman I know, Harold, was feeling down after moving to a new town in his early 70s. He didn't know anyone, and his memory was starting to feel fuzzy, as he put it. Then he started going to a community center twice a week for coffee mornings. At first, he just sat and listened. But soon he was chatting, laughing, and even organizing a trivia night. His memory came back sharper. He felt alive again. Because connection fuels the brain just as much as food or exercise does. Now that we've touched on the power of movement, nutrition, and connection, it's time to keep building on these foundations, because the next habit ties all of them together in a powerful way that might just surprise you. If you're still watching and feel that these insights are meaningful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. One of the most underrated tools for protecting your memory, and it connects beautifully with everything we've already talked about, is something incredibly simple: sleep. That's right. Quality sleep is like a nighttime housekeeping crew for your brain. When you sleep, your brain doesn't just rest, it works. It sorts through the day's events, clears out waste, and stores important memories so you can find them later. Think of it like this: if you don't sleep well, it's like trying to organize your thoughts in a messy, cluttered room. Things get lost. You feel foggy. You might remember part of something, but not the whole thing. And when that starts happening day after day, it's easy to blame age. But sometimes, it's not age at all. It's just poor sleep hygiene. Now, sleep tends to change as we get older. Maybe you find yourself waking up more during the night or feeling wide awake at 4 a.m. That's common, but it doesn't mean you're doomed to restless nights forever. A few small changes can make a big difference. Start by looking at your evenings. Are you drinking caffeine too late? Scrolling through your phone or watching TV right up until bed? Those little habits might be tricking your brain into staying alert when it should be winding down. Try turning off screens an hour before bed. Dim the lights. Read something light, not the news. Maybe play soft music or sip herbal tea. Treat your bedtime routine like a signal to your brain: it's time to recharge. Also, try to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day. Yes, even on weekends. Your brain loves routine, and when it knows what to expect, it's more likely to give you the deep, restful sleep your memory depends on. I remember a man named Theo who used to call himself a terrible sleeper. He was in his 60s and said he just couldn't stay asleep anymore. But when we talked more, I realized his evening routine was all over the place. One night he was watching action movies until midnight. The next, he'd fall asleep in his recliner with the lights on. Once he started being more intentional about his evenings, same bedtime, quiet activities, no electronics, everything changed. He slept more deeply, and guess what? His memory improved. He started remembering names at church again. He stopped losing track of appointments. And he felt more like himself. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And after 60, it becomes even more important for mental clarity, mood, and memory. That brings us to the final habit, and this one is all about keeping your brain engaged, not just busy. There's a difference. You see, doing the same crossword puzzle every morning might be fun, but your brain eventually adapts. It gets good at it, and the challenge fades. To really support your memory, you need to keep learning new things. Stretching your mind like a muscle. This doesn't mean going back to school or studying something complicated. It means doing things that are new enough to challenge your brain in a gentle, enjoyable way. Try learning a few words in another language. Take up a musical instrument, even if you just strum it for fun. Learn to bake a new type of bread. Even rearranging the furniture in your home or taking a different route on your daily walk can wake your brain up. One woman I met, Janet, started taking painting classes at 72. She'd never held a brush before. The first few weeks were messy and slow. But she stuck with it, not because she thought she'd be a famous artist, but because it made her feel alive. She had to learn shapes, colors, techniques, and every time she picked up that brush, her brain was firing on all cylinders. Months later, not only was her art improving, but she said her memory felt sharper. She could recall details from years ago, and even remembered where she left her keys, something she'd struggled with for ages. New experiences challenge your brain to form new connections. And those connections are what keep your memory strong. The key is variety. Think of your brain like a garden. It thrives when you water it from different directions, mentally, socially, physically, emotionally. And here's the best part, you don't have to be perfect at any of these habits. You just have to start. One walk around the block. One extra serving of leafy greens. One deeper night's sleep. One new skill you let yourself fumble through without judgment. Over time, those small acts become powerful. There's something deeply reassuring about knowing you're not at the mercy of memory loss. That you can do things, real, everyday things, to strengthen your mind and keep it clear. And it's not about chasing youth or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about embracing who you are, right now, and giving your beautiful, experienced brain the care and attention it deserves. Because the truth is, your memory is not something that simply fades with time. It's something you can nourish. Something you can support. And yes, something you can protect. If you've ever worried that it's too late to start taking care of your memory, let me reassure you right now, it's not. In fact, the very act of deciding to care about your mind, to nurture it the way you would a garden or a beloved pet, that decision alone is powerful. Because memory isn't something you either keep or lose like flipping a switch. It's something you can build, strengthen, and support every single day. Let's take a moment and think about what we've already touched on. Moving your body regularly. Feeding your brain with the right foods. Staying connected with people who make you laugh, listen, and think. Prioritizing deep, restful sleep. And continuing to challenge your mind with new experiences and learning. These aren't just tips. They are habits, gentle, life-giving rhythms you can bring into your daily routine. And the beauty is, none of them require perfection. You don't have to do them all at once. You don't have to turn your life upside down. Just start small. One good night's sleep. One healthy breakfast. One phone call to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. One slow walk in the morning sun. Each small step is like placing a brick in a strong, steady foundation for your future self. It's easy, sometimes, to fall into the belief that the most vibrant years of life are behind us. Especially when the world around us constantly markets youth as the gold standard. But let me tell you something that's just as true, and far more powerful: age brings depth. It brings wisdom. It brings perspective. And when your mind is sharp, your experience becomes a superpower. You don't have to remember everything to feel in control of your life. But when you can recall names, special dates, meaningful moments, and where you left your glasses, it helps you feel grounded. It helps you stay connected to the world around you. That feeling of clarity, of confidence, it's worth every bit of effort you give to these habits. I know a gentleman named Alvaro, 77 years old. He told me, "I may not be as fast as I once was, but I want to be present." And that's what all of this comes down to, really, being present. Remembering today's moment. Being able to tell stories from the past and enjoy the conversation in front of you. recognizing the face across the table, remembering the punchline of your favorite joke. That's presence. And memory supports it all. And here's the truth you may not hear often enough: your brain wants to help you. It's not trying to fail you. It's doing its best with the resources and signals you give it. So the more you offer it nourishment through movement, food, rest, connection, and curiosity, the more it gives back. It's a relationship, and you're both in it together. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, "I've already noticed some memory slips," don't panic. That's completely normal, and not necessarily a sign of something serious. Everyone forgets things from time to time. Stress, poor sleep, even dehydration can cause foggy thinking. So before you assume the worst, give your brain a little love and see how it responds. Start with grace. Be kind to yourself. Speak to your own mind the way you'd speak to a dear friend, with encouragement, not criticism. If you misplace your keys, smile, breathe, and say, "Okay, I'll find them soon," instead of, "What's wrong with me?" That kindness matters. The brain responds to stress differently than it does to calm. A gentle inner voice keeps the doors open, while a harsh one shuts them. And don't forget to celebrate the wins. When you remember an appointment without writing it down, or recall a friend's name right away, or finish a puzzle or a book, acknowledge that. Those moments count. They're not small. They're proof that your efforts are working. If you're someone who likes routines, build these habits into your day like you would brush your teeth. Morning walk? Check. Brain-boosting breakfast? Check. 15 minutes of learning something new? Beautiful. A relaxing wind-down routine for better sleep? Perfect. Let these become little rituals that tell your brain, "I'm taking care of you, and I trust you'll take care of me." Now, if you found any of this helpful, I'd love for you to share something in the comments, maybe a habit you already practice, or one you're excited to try. When you share, you help others see they're not alone. You create a community of people who are growing, learning, and supporting each other, and that, in itself, is a powerful memory tool. And if you enjoyed this video and want more guidance, more encouragement, and more honest, uplifting conversations just like this, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be here, walking alongside you with new tips, new stories, and a whole lot of heart. But most importantly, just remember this: your age is not a limit. It's a strength. Your memory is not fading, it's asking for your attention. And your future is not something to fear, it's something to shape. You are capable. You are wise. And you are still becoming. So here's to clarity, to courage, and to living each day with presence and purpose. You deserve nothing less. Here's to living your best life at any age. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean a lot to us and give us the motivation to keep spreading positivity and practical advice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support truly helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.